criminal. I say, dang. I say, but you know what? I have found this case in the law library. It's a Kimbrough case. You know what I mean? And it's 1-to-1. You know, because what had happened in federal prison, they had made this bias and injustice law, which for crack cocaine it was 100-to-1. It was 100-to-1, meaning that for crack and cocaine, right, you will get a much healthier sentence for crack, a most deadly sentence for crack, and a very light sentence for powder cocaine, which both of them are the same, right? Because you have to use powder in order to make crack. But the thing was is that I had found this case that was a 1-to-1, meaning the ratio of crack to powder was 1-to-1, right? And it wasn't 100-to-1. I was being charged up under the 100-to-1 ratio, right? And I was telling my lawyer, been a lawyer for 30 years. But why don't he know about this Kimbrough case? I had to dig it up, right? Kimbrough had almost the same things that I had, right? We called 3 years. So, me and the lawyer, we talking. So I'm telling about the Kimbrough case. He don't want to hear it. He do not want to hear about the Kimbrough case. See, because as I learned that these lawyers, they talk to the government, and them and the government have already made them an offer. They have already made a deal. He had already got me a deal, 188 months, and there was nothing that he was going to do for me to get anything lowered. He wasn't fighting for me. He was coming to me with a deal. But I didn't know this. But I knew that I would fight for me. That I would fight for me. I didn't know that the government and him had already made a deal about my life. See? This is what they do when we're ignorant. This is what they do when we don't go to the law library. This is how they trick us with life sentences inside of prison systems. See? This is how they trick us. See, what they do, they hide the most valuable information that there is on this earth in a book. And I read that book. And that book was the key to my life. Right? So, I'm telling the lawyer about the Kimbrough case, the 1-to-1, you know, because I'm being sentenced up under 100-to-1. You know, I'm getting a severe penalty, you know, which many of the brothers had already was in with life sentences, 30 years, 75 years, you know what I mean? For a little less than nothing, you know? No murders, you know? It was drugs, 30 years, 40 years, life sentences. So I'm speaking to the lawyer. So I'm like, well, I have this Kimbrough case, and it's similar to mine, you know, and he got 36 months. Oh, that don't mean nothing. You're being career, you're a career offender, you this, you that. I'm like, wow, you know. So I listened to him. But I have to stand up for me. But I tell you that this guy, this lawyer, Dallas Corbin, that's his name. This guy, he sat there and he argued with me about me, my life, giving me 15 years and 7 months. He argued with me for me to take this time, and he is not going to do 1 day, 1 hour, 1 minute, 1 second of that time. But he won't listen to me about the Kimbrough case. Tell me why he won't listen to me. But I figured it out. because he already made a deal with the devil. See? He already told him, oh yeah, Mr. Simmons going to take the 188 months. He don't have a choice. He's a career offender. But God said to me, Derek, don't you take that 188 without a fight. You continue to study. You continue to stay prayed up. So I stayed prayed up. I continued to study. So me and this guy, we going back and forth. We going back and forth so much till it's a big argument. It's heated up. It's just me and him in the room. You know what I mean? It's like it's about to turn to blows, you know? Because I'm standing on what I stand on. God told me don't take 188. He said if they give it to you, you don't have no choice. But don't take 188. He said you fight on your feet. And that's what I did. So, man, the guy, we arguing so much. He said, okay, Mr. Simmons, I'm going to check on the Kimbrough case for you. I said, all right. Man, yeah, man. So I got a chance, you know. Kimbrough had got 36 months. Had 1-1. Okay, you know, maybe it's a long shot. Maybe it's not, but it's a shot. It's a shot. If I sit here and shake his hand and say, yeah, I accept 188 months, then that's what I got. I don't have no shot at the 36 months. I don't have no shot at nothing lower. I am making a deal with the devil. He already made a deal with the devil. He made a deal with the government already for my life. How you gonna make a deal for my life? See, and this is how they trick many of our brothers and sisters. They trick us. Be all nice and tell us this is all we can get and try to explain to us in their terminology, right? In their terminology. But they don't give a damn about us. They don't give a damn about us because they're going to go home at the end of the day and sleep good with their wives and their children and their nice house. While you just accepted a deal of 188 months to sleep in a cell with a bunch of men or a bunch of women, if you're a woman. So if I'm going to prison to sleep in a cell with a bunch of men, I'm going to go out fighting. So he said, okay, Mr. Simmons, I'm going to check into the Kimbrough case. I believed him. You know, I'm not used to a professional person, you know, just right in my face, lied to me. So he said that I believed him. So what we did, you know, we